may be suspected of sex offenses, but it's not an offense if you go to Davos. The escort agencies booked solid for Davos Forum. Sexual harassment by wealthy men at WEF is so common that female guests are advised not to attend events alone, an Austrian outlet has reported. Very interesting story. Apparently they will screw you in the world, and they go there for themselves, for their own pleasure, and I don't know why they should be allowed to have any pleasure where they're actually violating everybody else's rights. This is a systemic problem. People that believe they have power allow themselves licenses that should not be. And this goes through back to the broadcast. Israel, the Zionists, those that would impose these need to stop in the world. It's going to take people everywhere locally to them to stop this and stop allowing it. This mentality, psychopathy, this license they give themselves to screw the world has got to be arrested. And while that became top news, global political elites skipped Davos. They call the political elite the nations, actually, when you read this. U.S., Chinese, and Russian leaders will not attend this year's World Economic Forum in the Swiss Alps. Maybe they're getting a word, but maybe those escort agencies were going to be promoting themselves, too. And that's what we're here for, I suppose, in Davos. But Davos is on, but none of the big countries seem to be showing up. French Minister Emmanuel Macron and British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is not going to show up. Putin's not showing up. Chinese aren't showing up. So something's changing. And this is I want to try to shift a little bit. There is a voice going out by the people. They are paying attention. But they did still have the meeting. In pictures I see that the attendance is not so good. So we're having a force and effect. But it needs to be even more, I think, confined to very particular attacks to show that we are not, as a people anywhere, are not tolerating any of this anymore. Because it's bringing us to no good. It's allowing to those that think they're in power or have organized themselves in such a way to be able to have a power and plausibly look like they're lawfully doing things to come and destroy us. These people are nobody, actually. And yet somehow they've organized themselves, they've infiltrated our nations, they've infiltrated our people, they've infiltrated the minds of the people. And it's only a very small amount of people responding that are actually starting to get the pushback. That I wonder is not sending, notwithstanding all the turmoil in the world, and again, a barrel of turmoil must be just a great amount of money value, but at any rate, the turmoil in the world keeps the separation. But I think there's something else driving this. Again, being interactive in the world with the social media such that it is, and such that the censorship is, does, I think, help drive it. That we don't get the type of mutual cooperation between each other is kind of interesting to me anyway. Most people want to stand on the bandwagon of the bombshell and say, look at what I found, even though I'm 3 years late and it was known by some other people, and we should have been acting. It doesn't matter. Look what I found. And that seems to be all that people want to do. Look at what I found. Okay, but the one who laid that mine down there for you to find it is now down the path laying some others, and maybe worse, one that a mine you may step on and then it won't matter, or you become more identified as a collaborator in your ignorance as you move along, and they get out you too. You become irrelevant. Moving into these people that cause the narratives, they allow others to profit from them. We're back to how the globe is triggered by certain powerful organizations and really typically tied to investments, and that people are driven by their greed or their base nature, like Davos, and why the escort agencies are all like profiting now. None of you do, but they do. How BlackRock Investment Fund triggered the global energy crisis.
Today, I choose joy.